Hi, Tiana. How's it
Hello.
going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good, amazing. So, Tiana, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's gonna be the third actually YouTube recording. And
Mm.
also, congratulations on your completion of this master class level one.
Thank you. Thank you.
おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
So, during the master course level one, you did a lot of things. Even you joined my YouTube channel twice, and also even
Mm.
you went to Japan finally. So, how
Yes.
do you feel?
I feel really good. I mean, especially after that trip, now I want to move there. 引っ越したいです。
Amazing. What actually you feel like, you never been to Japan, but also you studied this master course. And did you really expect it that you could feel like you want to move to Japan?
Definitely went beyond my expectations. I mean, because obviously at first I only really just wanted to learn the language and just become fluent in it and learn the culture. But I think after going there and traveling there and seeing everything and experiencing it in person, now both me and my boyfriend want to move there. So that's the plan.
Amazing. Please share with me and also our audience that is why you wanted to learn Japanese and also before meeting Japan Language Factory, what was actually your experience of Japanese language?
So before starting with the Japanese language factories, I mainly just watched a lot of anime and it was always hard because you're trying to like read the subtitles while also, doing other things or like especially like eating when I eat, I'd like to watch anime, but it would be so nice just to understand it and not have to read subtitles and just listen to it and understand. So that was like my first initial step into wanting to learn Japanese. So then I started using Japanese language apps like Pimsleur and stuff. And I feel like that kind of got me my first step of learning sentence structures and just it was very, very formal. It was like formal, formal. So I was learning a lot of words that I wouldn't use on a daily basis, but it did give me that starting point of just those basics, like saying thank you or hello or good afternoon, good night, kind of stuff like that. But as you kind of progressed in the app, it got to the point where I was like, I would never use these words. I want something more realistic. And I did see your guys's classes on Instagram and I was like, oh, like this seems like something I would want to do. Like I can actually talk to someone and ask them questions and like, double check that I'm making these sentences right, that it makes sense, like from a native standpoint. So then I found you guys and I started learning and yeah, it was exactly what I needed. I needed that one-on-one experience. And I was able to learn so much more. And especially, like, I love the fact that we can cater each lesson towards whatever we need to learn. For example, like me going to Japan, it was like perfect timing. I was able to learn what I needed to know to be over there and to be able to communicate to, the people there and just have a really good experience in Japan. So it was great.
Amazing. Overall, your experience is so amazing because it's not like you are living in Japan and you got
Mm,
this, like kind of confidence to really talk to people, the country that you've never been to. So that's why
mhm.
something like it's a whole like a transformation and people can't believe, oh, learning Japanese is super difficult. Like how are you going to be really learn to be able to speak? You got those type of kind of reaction from your friends or something like, oh,
Mhm.
wow, you went to Japan, you talked to Japanese.
Definitely my family. They were really, really surprised. They didn't even know that I was learning Japanese, even when I was doing it on my own. So they had no idea. So when I would like just step out into the living room and like just kind of like practice my phrases for the day, they were like, what? Wow, you
Mm.
sound like so fluent. And to me, just because like I've been doing it like so long on my own, I'm like, it's not even good. It's not like even near that. But to them, they were like, oh my gosh, like you sound like you can just like speak it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. But yeah, and then I started, sharing my video on my Instagram too. And then even all my friends, they're like, oh my gosh, like, wow, that is so crazy. That's so good. Like, where are you learning? And, I'm telling them, but yeah, they're all asking me, like, is it so hard? I was like, honestly, it is hard because it is a new language for me. It's my first language, but it is so worth it. And I feel like I've learned so much in just the 2 months that I was with you guys compared to by myself. So yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing. In a lot of actually American people, it's because English is international language and a
Mhm.
lot of people just ending up kind of monolingual. It's difficult to get the second language if you are living in the States or even it's difficult because it's translation apps and everything is so convenient. And even though they love Japanese culture, they are watching a lot of Japanese anime, but it's difficult to be a kind of feeling like bilingual. As an adult, it's not your childhood. You really learn language in the school. You are working and also you are adult. It's difficult to believe that you can be a kind of bilingual, but it's in just 2 months, you feel like, wow, like you're speaking, you're talking to people. So I'm sure people couldn't believe that it's so short time, you actually really start talking, back and forth. So what do you think? How do you encourage other people?
Well, I would say that like it's not like learning a language in like school, at least to me, because this is something that I've always wanted to do, especially if it's like anyone else, if this is something that you really want to do and like a passion for you, like it was for me, and it's not just like any random language, like just wanting to get a grade for, I think that's just motivation in itself because it's something that you really want to do and something that you really want to strive for. And I don't think like age or time, any factors in it, because if you have at least like 30, 15 minutes a day, or even like for me, like sometimes on my busy days, just driving to work, because we have that audio from our lessons and I can just listen to it on my drive to work. And my drive to work is like an hour. So I have an hour of driving time just to even listen to it. You don't have to, look at the words or anything. You can work on your listening skills, So there's different skills that you can work on throughout the day when you feel like you don't have time. Like I said, I used my car all the time just to listen to audio whenever I couldn't, actually sit down and look at, the Word docs of, everything that we got over. But yeah, besides that, I think just, sitting down, even if it's like 5 minutes, just learning one word. It's one more word that you don't know or didn't know before. So taking that time, you'll get there eventually. It may be long, but I think it's well worth it.
Amazing. What do you think? What was actually kind of a difficult part before meeting Japan Language Factory of learning Japanese?
I think that just not having someone there to kind of check my work in the way of like, so I'd learned all these phrases and these words, but I don't know if my sentence structure was correct. Or even if the sentence structure was correct, does it sound natural? I don't want to sound like a textbook because I would always watch these videos and, people would try to, use what they've learned on, phone apps, and the natives, they're like, oh no, English is fine. Yeah, I didn't want that. I think just having someone there to, tell you, oh, let's put it this way because that makes more sense. It flows more because, the app is very, very formal. And, it made me realize that you don't need all these like little wah saying wah all the time. You can just drop it and make it sound more natural. So that to me was really the best part, is because I really want to be naturally speaking it, more flowing. So yeah, having someone there to ask about it was great.
Amazing. And what was the kind of the biggest fun or achievement when you went to Japan?
Honestly, I feel like anytime we ordered food, I felt really, really confident. That's what I worked my best on my conversation of like revolving around like the restaurants and stuff, because I knew that like we'd be spending most of our time there. So because a lot of the spots that we wanted to go see have revolved around food. So yeah, I mainly try to focus on that. And so I was really, really confident in speaking Japanese whenever we went to restaurants. And after the first time, I was nervous, of course, the first time, but once I realized, I was like, oh, so they really can understand me. I'm speaking it right, like I'm answering correctly. I can hear it correctly. I got more and more confidence throughout our trip. And then by the end of the trip, it was just always strictly just Japanese.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing because some people, live in Japan still
Mm,
using Google Translate. So restaurant
mm,
conversation, you actually went to Japan for the first time, you made it is a
mhm.
biggest, achievement, I can say. Definitely.
Yeah, I actually was able to help someone else to translate for
Really?
them. Yeah, and then he
Wow.
was trying to use his phone to translate because he didn't understand, and she was, asking him, that, whenever he's like ready to order, just let her know. He wasn't understanding, so I was like, oh, I'll just tell you. So I
Mm-hmm.
helped him order and helped him understand. So that was really cool too.
Amazing. And then finally you made the decision that maybe you want to move to Japan. Tell me about about your plan?
Yeah, so me and my boyfriend want to try to move there. He may have some work lined up in Chiba, so that's a possibility for him. We also both want to go to a Japanese language school out there, which we actually already sent in our applications. So we're just waiting for
Wow.
kind of them to come back from break to look at our applications. But yeah, the plan is to get over there really, really soon, actually, hopefully sometime this year, so that we can go to school over there, really learn the language, and then that way they can help us with, securing housing. And I would say the easiest way that we can get over there faster, and especially because I do want to continue my Japanese language learning. So I think that was like our best course of action is getting there for school. They would be able to help us secure the housing, the visa. And yeah, I think just being over there and while learning is also really, really great because, it's just immersing yourself in everything. And at that point, I'm just going to have to use Japanese every single day.
Amazing. Yeah, congratulations. This, a lot of achievement and small even things to start, zero almost, because when I met
Mm.
you couldn't really speak Japanese at all, but
Yeah.
you did actually a lot of progress. Even you made the decision to move to Japan. So yeah, I'm excited to see your future progress.
Thank you.
So the one last actually question, because I ask this question to everybody. 2025 just started. It's a January.
Mm.
And anybody actually feeling like it's been so long. I'm a huge fan of Japanese anime. I'm watching a lot of anime entertainment for so long, but it's
Yeah.
something it's not making progress and maybe difficult to make progress because of the application is not actually helping their progress, or maybe don't know even what to start. So what is your advice from your experience? What we should start from?
So I think I would recommend, at least if you want to start on your own, I think phone apps are completely fine. I think it's a good way to start with your basics because I started the same way and I think I got a lot of good basic words so that when I did join Japan Language Factory, I at least had that, those basics, and I was able to use them going into our lessons, which helped, I feel like, progress my lessons a lot faster because I did know those words. And it was really helpful once we started making those sentences. So I think starting at, whatever phone app you want, even if it's not a phone app. I also did watch some YouTube videos, so those were also really helpful. That also helped, like show like specific situations where you can see those conversations happening. But I think just starting there is great. Like just as long as you're learning something new every day, I think that's a great way to start. Even if it's just like writing down maybe 2 or 3 words, just learn those 2 or 3 words, understand them, and then move on to the next 2 or 3 words. That's a good way to start.
All right. Thank you so much, Tiana.
Thank you.